the Boulder Historical Society. It started in 1944, and it has always operated a museum. So it was started to preserve the history of the community, to collect artifacts that represent the history of the community and photographs and that kind of thing, and to have exhibits and displays that tell that. When I started working at the museum, it was the Boulder History Museum, and it was in what's called the Harbeck House. And so we were operating the museum out of that building, and it was challenging. A lot of people didn't know we existed. So since I've started working in 2001, we've been talking about moving to downtown Boulder, expanding the museum so that we could offer more in the way of exhibits and programs. We were able to open it to the public in May of 2018, and with that, the rebranding from the Boulder History Museum to the Museum of Boulder, and now it's really a museum that represents all aspects of our community, past, present, and future.
The new museum and the rebranding, the new name, is exciting not only for the museum but for the collection. The scope is broader to serve a wider community base. It's not just about strictly history, it's about other more current topics. The rebranding and the new and sort of different things the museum is doing as opposed to the previous iteration of the museum is really exciting in that way.
There is so much that goes into creating an exhibit in a museum. So first, of course, you have to come up with the idea, and then figuring out, well, how are we going to tell that story? And what do we have in our collection that can help tell that story?
We use objects from the collection to inform exhibits and other programs and things going on. So often we would get a donation from someone of something really culturally significant and neat, and fit that into a future program or exhibit at the museum.
And then it's really reaching out to people who have expertise in that topic and getting information from them, maybe we borrow artifacts from them, but pulling together the stories and photographs and that kind of thing.
So the museum's artifact collection has over 44,000 items in the collection, historic objects that are significant to Boulder and the Boulder region.
So we just opened this exhibit called The Boulder Experience, which is our permanent exhibition. It's all about Boulder, past, present, and future. That exhibit actually took years and years of development, and we had probably 300 people that we consulted with to help us in the different aspects of that exhibit. And so we wanted to create a place where people could learn about the really remarkable ideas, the remarkable innovations that have come out of Boulder, and also to learn about our early history, some of maybe the more difficult aspects of our history as well. For example, the Native American people who lived here prior to white settlement, primarily the Arapaho and Cheyenne. And so we worked with them to make sure that we told their story in the museum. We hope that people will feel that this is a museum not only for them but also about them, and that they will sort of feel a little part of it and be proud of their community, and to feel a part of it by coming to the museum and seeing themselves in it.
The collection really is a reflection of the community. We don't have a big budget. We're not out looking to buy things constantly or searching for things in that way. We appreciate input from the community in that someone out there would sort of identify a story or cultural kind of niche that they're aware of. They have something that pertains to that story or idea, and they're interested in donating it to the museum. We have a page on our website that has all the information about how to donate something to the collection, but I encourage anyone who is interested to make that offer, or at least offer ideas in terms of what we should collect.
We have lots of volunteer opportunities at the museum in all different aspects of our work. So for example, we have opportunities for volunteers to work with our collection.
It varies depending on what we sort of have capacity for and what we're up to. Last year when we moved out of the old location, we had volunteers helping move things. Most of the volunteer work these days are just processing items, helping to catalog items. Every artifact in our collection gets put into the computer database, and so adding computer database records to that database is another volunteer opportunity.
Another opportunity is working with our development director on events. We do some special fundraising events and other events that are really fun. And we partner with different local groups so that they can be telling their stories in the museum. We will be continuing to offer new exhibits 2 or 3 times a year. I feel like now that we have this building open and now that we have the permanent exhibition in here, there are real opportunities to open it up to the community. And I just see that we've just started that road, just started that journey.